Matteo Maria. I was a Flutter developer. Now I'm a cloud engineer, but I worked with Flutter for 5 years, so I know a little bit of it. And first of all, how many of you know what is Flutter? What Flutter is? Oh, okay, too much. Okay. This talk is a follow-up from another talk I gave to FlutterCon Europe and USA, and it was about FFI. So make a language talk to another and work together. And in my previous talk, I've used C and Rust to just generate particles that move around each other, okay? And I rendered them in Flutter. And many people in the audience asked me for can Python be used with Flutter? And so after many months, I've decided to propose this talk to answer that question. So, sorry, I don't have a presenter, so I need to be there. My first attempt was with Python FFI. It's a package that you can find on PubDev. For those who don't know, PubDev is like pip, maybe. It's a package manager. It's a website where you can find packages for Flutter and you can download them in your project. So Python FFI, it's a package that lets you create and run your Python code inside your project. As you can see, there's also Dart pip, which is a utility CLI that help you to download packages from pip inside your Flutter project. And I don't know why, but print is not supported. But yeah. So I've just created a simple example of functions that we can call. And then you have to add those lines in your pubspec.yaml. It's like the project, PyProject TOML and for Flutter. And so you just say to your project to find the Py files in that directory. And then with build runner, which is a utility of Flutter that lets you, it's used for code generation. Okay, so you just run that command, and every package that depends on it knows that it needs to generate files based on that. Those instructions lets you get this code, this Dart code generated, which is the binding between Python and Dart. And so you can just call that function in your code like this, okay? As you can see, we import that file, which is a .g.dart. G stands for generated. And you import the generated primitives.import. The primitives was the name of the Python file in the example I copied from GitHub. So that's the name of the package. And then you just call the sum function and you get the result and you print it. So easy as that. Just a little issue. I get this error. So maybe you have more luck than me. You are luckier than me. And so I don't know how to solve this problem. I tried. And there's an issue on the package GitHub page, which is opened and the author never replied. So let's move on. Setup tools and Cython. I tried this approach. starting with creating another simple function. Always put types in your Python code. I see you all, okay? Always put types in your Python code. Yeah. So, and then I have this code, which is just a setup.py file that you run. And as you can see, it's going to get my square.py file, which contains the code you see earlier. And it generates a .so file, which is a library. Also, you get all that code, which is a C file, because your Python code gets translated to C, and then the library gets generated. And for only that square function, you get a 6K lines of code in C, okay? I don't know why. I'm not enough into low-level programming, so I don't know why you get all those lines of code, but I get my library, so I just accept it. After that, we can use that library inside Flutter, but how can we use it? There's FFI-gen, sorry. FFI-gen is a tool which we can find on pub.dev, and what is its purpose? It's not that easy to map your functions between C and Dart, so FFI comes to help you, because you just need to give to that package the location of your .h file, which is where it can find the signature of your functions, and it automatically, with build runner, generates the mapping between C and Dart. Just one issue. A little bit issue. Cannot find Python. So yeah, because what's the problem? Flutter, once you run your code, creates a bundle. So and then runs the app from that bundle. So Python is not embedded in your app, so it can't be found. So another another way to try do something. PyBind 11. Same function as before. Then I've created a C file from scratch. I've created it myself. And as you can see, using PyBind, I'm importing my square module, and I'm creating, I'm calling my function with a parameter a, and then I'm returning my result. So I just used my Python code from C by hand, and then I'm adding that FFI plugin export and decorating the method in order to prevent the mangling during compilation, okay? And then I tried to use that with FFI-gen, because after compiling it, I get a dynamic library, and then I can map that square function and use it in Flutter. But same problem as before, and I also have the problem that the bundled library can't find the square.py file, because that file doesn't get bundled. So neither that way works. Then there's flat. How many of you know what flat is? Okay. It's totally fine. I see you. It's totally fine, and we are not. I didn't use flat it's something from Flat, because Flat is a framework made in Python to create Flutter apps. And I tried it just for fun, and it's a nice thing, because if you don't know Dart and you don't know how to create stuff with Dart, it's okay, but it's not as powerful as Dart, but makes sense, because it's really difficult to just replicate Flutter in Python from in just one day. So I'm totally fine with that, but the same person that created the Flat also created Serious Python. Serious Python is a package which Flat is powered with, and lets you run Python code in Dart. The only problem is that you can only run files with main. So, for example, if you have a fast API web server or a language model or things like that, you can run it, but it's a one-shot thing. And so I can't use libraries because there's no main. I have just function that I need to call. So, native assets. Native assets is a wonderful thing that it's coming to Flutter. It's not ready yet to. It's not ready for production. So it's also on not beta. It's in alpha. Okay, and it's a package that is developed by the Flutter team, and it lets you create those bindings between C, not only C, but yes, languages that are based on C, and Dart. Okay, it's like FFIGen, as I showed you before, but is even more powerful, and it's easier to set up. You just need to tell native assets, here's my C file, and that's all. You don't need to do anything else, and you can call those files inside your Flutter app, and everything gets bundled without without the needing of you to touch anything. As you can see, this issue is opened by a guy named Daco, which is also the creator of native assets. He works in the Dart FFI team, and I had a call with him. I met him in Berlin, and so I could contact him with email. And yeah, I had a call with him, and we talked about using native assets, and maybe that could be the way to make Python and Flutter work together, but no. What's the issue? Although native assets are really powerful, there's no way today to bundle my Py files inside a Flutter app. There's no way to bundle them, and there's no way to make the Flutter app to point to files outside its bundle. Okay, so no. So what can I do now? PyCon, it's in 1 week, and I have nothing to show people. So what can I do? So I thought a little bit, and I shared my thoughts with some of my friends, and they gave me a stupid idea, but it worked a little bit. So back to PyBind 11 again, and I tried to make some tests, because yeah, Flutter is based on Dart, but they are not the same thing, because Flutter works in a different way when it's time to generate your app and bundle everything. So I tried to work with the Dart, first of all, and so that's my code in Dart, pure Dart, okay? And as you can see, I'm trying to open my dynamic library created with PyBind 11, and then I'm just mapping with some methods from the FFI package, I'm trying to point to the square function, call it, and use it. And that works, okay? So why that works? Because Dart, even when you try to compile it, because you can generate a .exe and everything, does not bundle everything, and also it's like just every other executable. So from your Dart code, you can get the dependencies on your machine, you can see other files and things like that. So the square.py file, it's totally visible. The Python installation on your PC, it's totally visible. So that example works, but as you can tell, it's not something that you want to ship to your customers, right? And, oh, sorry. And so, yeah, I get my library and try to call it, and I tried to think how can I bring that to Flutter, because yeah, works in Dart but not in Flutter. And I thought about another approach, which I need to show you from the code, which is not that one. Sorry. Spoiler. Yeah. As you can you read it? I have to zoom a little bit. No. Okay. As you can see, this is the PyBind example as before, and then I thought about something. As you can see, my library is a dynamic library, but also Python can be loaded as a dynamic library, right? So why not mapping every single function from the interpreter to load my code? So I have this square function as a string, and then I've remapped every function that it's needed to initialize the interpreter and call my functions. And then I try to call my function, and I can assure you that that works. That works. And yeah, it prints my value. It's a little bit too much of code, and also if you don't have a absolute path that points to Python, you can't use it. So it's kind of useless. Also, one thing that I didn't even try is to have dependencies, because as you can see, it's just a function without any dependency. So I don't know how it works with other modules imported in my code. And yeah, that's not a nice approach, but there's another way to make something work other than these. So this is a Flutter app. I'll just run it a second in order to show you something. Okay. Can you read? Yeah. Okay. So if you enter a number and, for example, 6, yeah, 6 squared is 36, and that result comes from Python. So we actually made Flutter and Python work together. But how? As we said before, Flutter can't bundle your Py files. So how can how did I manage to make that Python file work in this example? And the way I did is I've put my library and the Python file inside my project, and then inside the pub spec, where is it? Sorry. Okay, I put them as assets. I can't find it. Oh yeah, here. Sorry. Okay. So I declared them as assets. So like every other thing that you need in your app, like images or audio or things like that. And after that, I've loaded those assets, and then I copied them inside the bundle folder. So I just load the bytes of those files, and then I runtime copy them inside the bundle, so I know the address of those files. And then I try to open the library from that path. And the only things that is a little bit weird is that I can write the Python library inside a temporary library that is generated runtime, but I can't do the same thing with my Python file, because if I write the Python file inside the temporary library, it doesn't get seen by the Python library, okay? So I have to write it in the root of my app. I'm sorry, I know it's kind of difficult to understand how I've explained it, but once you copy your files, they are in one folder and they can't see each other. I don't know why. And the only way to make them see each other is to copy the second file inside the root of the bundle. Don't ask me, I don't know. And also, that works only on macOS, because I've tried it on macOS. I've also tried on iOS, and you can't just use the current dir, because on iOS it's just root / okay, and you don't have write permission, so you can't at all to write your Python file here. And then after that, I've just loaded the library that I copied, and I just called the square function as we see earlier, and it works. But as you can see, it's not the best way to do that, and also it's not production ready at all. And that's all. Do you have any question?
Okay, thank you. We have no question on Slido, but we have some minutes if someone...
Maybe not a question, but maybe a suggestion. What you can do to get Python code into the ESO file is you can freeze it. If you search for freeze and see Python, then you get the code. It's not trivial, so this takes some getting used to. But what happens is it takes the bytecode and puts it into a C array, and then links the C array into the ESO file. And maybe that approach would work for bundling at least. So.
Other question?
I'm not a Python expert, so if you have any advice that you can give me, like this one, just meet me in the conference or text me, so we can maybe find a way to make it work.
Other question? Okay, if there are no other questions, have a good lunch and see you in the afternoon.